In the film, Gloria Swanson played the faded star who dreams of making a comeback.
Wait a minute, haven't I seen you before? I know your face.
Get out, or shall I call my servant?
You're Norma Desmond. Used to be in silent pictures, used to be big.
I am big. It's the pictures that got small.
Her performance really was quite bizarre, and I found that very interesting. And I wanted to somehow or other capture that myself. The haughtiness of her, and yet at the same time, vulnerability. That very measured, slow manner that was such a part of the silent movie era. Acting affords me the opportunity of being able to pretend to be somebody other than I am. That gives me a license to be more powerful and interesting than I could ever possibly be in real life.
No more wars to fight, white flags fly tonight.
I think I'm at my most happy when I'm on stage. I feel relaxed and at ease and in control.
Battlefield is still, wild poppies on the hill. Peace can only come when you surrender.
I've seen 4 Norma Desmond since Sunset Boulevard opened. Patti LuPone, Betty Buckley, Glenn Close, and now Elaine Paige. And I would say definitely that Elaine is the best of the 4 Norma Desmonds, without a question. She's the only one that the audience really cares about.
Once upon a time, not long ago, the head of any studio knew how and when to play his aces. Now they put some talent less unknown beneath their sacred microphone. We didn't need words, we had faces.
Because these stars were so terribly rich and powerful, when the talkies came along in 1927 with the jazz singer, it came as a terrible shock to them. They lost their power. They realized that the golden era was over, really.
Yes, they took all the idols and smashed them. The Fairbanks, the Gilberts, the Valentinos. They trampled on what was divine. They threw away the gold of silence, when all they needed was this face of mine.
In a remarkable parallel, the film reflected the real-life story of its star, Gloria Swanson, who spent 20 years in the wilderness before making a comeback in Sunset Boulevard.
So many years have passed from her great stardom of the silent era to now, 1950, and Sunset Boulevard. It truly was a return. Hello. Miss Swanson, yes, this is she. Hollywood? Oh, why would I want to do that? I couldn't possibly leave New York at such short notice. You want me for what? I would just like to know I heard you correctly. You, whomsoever you may be, want me, Gloria Swanson, to fly out to the coast at once for a screen test? Do you know who I am? No. No.
No, I am not willing to take a screen test. Why should I take a screen test? You never saw my movies? Well, come by. I'll run them for you. Do you have a year free? Send me the script.
In the film Sunset Boulevard, a 19-year-old actress, Nancy Olson, was chosen to co-star with Gloria Swanson and William Holden.
I was not aware of who Gloria Swanson was. She was a great star of the silent film days, and that was in the 20s, and that was really just before I was born. So my mother was very excited about the fact that I was going to be in a movie with Gloria Swanson, and I didn't know who she was talking about.
Sunset Boulevard, headline Boulevard, getting here is only the beginning. Sunset Boulevard, jackpot Boulevard, once you won, you have to go on winning.
It is the most famous street in the world, and even though we are not in the most glamorous and beautiful section, as a matter of fact, when I first came here, it looked very much like this. I also remember that there was congregated along both sides of this street the most beautiful people in the world. Now, we're coming into one of the more famous suburbs in the world, and that's a place called Beverly Hills. They call it Tinseltown. Oscar Levant said that underneath all that tinsel in Hollywood is the real tinsel.
And is that here?
And that's here. This is the real tinsel. I would say that any mansion along here would have been where Norma Desmond lived.
Yes. One can imagine it's sort of off here on the right behind these high walls.
Oh, absolutely. And these houses were built in the 20s.
A neglected house gets an unhappy look. This one had it in spades. It was like that old woman in Great Expectations, that Miss Havisham in her rotting wedding dress and her torn veil, taking it out on the world because she'd been given the go-by.
It's amazing to think that this is the site of the old Norma Desmond mansion. Of course, I'm not standing on Sunset Boulevard. In fact, I'm nowhere near Sunset Boulevard. This is Wilshire Boulevard. And this site, at the time, belonged to J. Paul Getty. He had a house here, and that was the house that was used in the film. 7 years after the film was made, the house was razed to the ground, and John Paul Getty built this structure, which was to house his oil company.